Hey, Speaker Mike Johnson here from Washington, D.C. Let's go on the record with Bossier Parish Schools.
Exciting way to kick off the new school year and season 4 of On the Record with Bossier Schools. Speaker of the House and our own native son, Mike Johnson, invited us to Capitol Hill, where we sat down with him to talk a little U.S. history.
And he also offered some very good advice for our Bossier School students as we get ready to return to 2025 and 26.
Bossier Schools also celebrated some really big wins this summer on the state and national stage that we can't wait to tell you about. Hi, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Sonia Bales.
And I'm Jason Rowland, and welcome back to Season 4 of On the Record with Bossier Schools, where we take our school community behind the scenes and into the classroom to show you the neat and wonderful things that are happening in and around Bossier Schools.
Our award-winning podcast, might I just add, has a nice ring to it, right? We're going to tell you a little bit more about that. But first, we hope you all have had a fun summer. I tell you what, it has flown by. It's hard to believe that school starts August 7th, so just about a week from now. And our kids will be going back. Our teachers go back in just a couple of days.
You know, the summer has been slam-packed, full of things that we've tried to accomplish to get ready for the school year. But a couple of great trips we're going to highlight in this week's episode, and we are super excited to share those things with you.
As we mentioned, August 7th is the first day of school for our 1st through 12th graders. A week later, August 14th is the first full day for our kindergarten students. So it's a really good time to remind our parents that all new and returning students do have to complete the registration process online.
If you haven't already done that, you'll want to go to bossierschools.org, where you'll be walked through the process. And while you're on the website, you can also find your child's bus number, location of their bus stop, and pick up and drop off times. Just click the Find My Bus icon under the banner, and then you'll be directed to that. Also, if you haven't done so already, we would encourage you to go to the App Store and download our Bossier Parish School Board app and get it on your phone, and that way you just have the notification, the information, the reminders come to your phone automatically, and you can stay up to date with what's happening with that as well. You know, last year we only had 56% of our school community that only downloaded the app. We would like to see that get to 80, 85, even 90% of everyone that's involved with Bossier Schools. Get the app, sign up, make sure that you're connected with everything that we're doing digitally, and also that'll notify you what's happening in person.
This is everything Bossier Schools at your fingertips, and keeps you connected with your child's teachers, because you can have a two-way communication with them. As you mentioned, Find My Bus, My School Bucks, the lunch menu, so you know what your child will be eating each day. I mean, just tons of information right there at your fingertips. But also make sure that you enable notifications from the district, because from time to time we'll need to communicate with you, and you'll want to know about all the different events happening at Bossier Schools. So definitely download that Bossier Schools app. And if you do have the app already, then you may have just seen recently on your feed that we honored one of our own at the state level, Jennifer Burris, the Benton Intermediate School principal, and she came home with a really big title.
Not only did we see her win the state principal of the year, the middle school state principal of the year, but also Mr. Michael Shelton. He's a teacher at Russian Middle School. He was a finalist for New Teacher of the Year. So we're super proud of Ms. Burris and Mr. Shelton, not only for being outstanding educators, but for being excellent in everything that they're doing, not only here in Bossier Parish, but now being recognized across the state.
That's right. And when we come back, we'll be joining you from the Big Easy as the excitement unfolds.
As we head back to school, make sure you're in the know with the Bossier Schools app. Whether it's upcoming events, important documents, news from your child's school, or emergency notifications, you'll have it all right at your fingertips. Just search Bossier Schools in your phone's app store and hit download. When prompted, tap personalized notifications to stay connected to the schools that matter most to you. So why wait? Download the app today. It's everything Bossier Schools right in your pocket.
Welcome back to On the Record with Bossier Schools. We are joining you now from New Orleans, where we just celebrated two outstanding educators in Bossier Parish at the Cecil Picard Educator Excellence Awards Gala. And not only do we have state
Well, we want to first of all congratulate Michael and Miss Burris, Michael Shelton, who's a middle school teacher at Bossier Middle School. Miss Burris is the principal at Benton Intermediate. So, Miss Burris, tell us, how excited are you to win the Louisiana Middle School State Principal of the Year?
I'm thrilled, such an honor. There's so many elite leaders here, so many people deserving of this honor, and so to be selected for such a prestigious award is very humbling and very exciting.
A lot of hard work going in at Benton Intermediate. The scores continue to rise. You continue to grow in every facet of what we're doing there. What do you think the school family is going to think?
They're going to be super proud. I've already had congratulations messages coming in. They've been rooting me on. So I know that they're going to be thrilled because they are truly the heart of the work. It takes an amazing superintendent like you who inspires me. And they know that I take that back. I try to inspire my team, but I can't do it without the attention to see the heart of it.
This gives us a lot of motivation going into 25-26. Super excited.
Michael, we are so proud of you. And just a few years ago, you never even imagined yourself being here because at first, education is not necessarily the field you were going to go into, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I planned on, and education was not on the radar, and then just
You were
kind
going
of
into
reflecting.
medical.
That's right. Yes, ma'am. And then I just talked to all kinds of educators and people that I looked up to during my time as a student in Bossier Parish. And talking to them, it felt like the right place for me to be. And all the things that I had been struggling with, I was wanting to go into the medical field, just went away and doors started opening, and it just became extremely easy.
You had a phenomenal year at Bossier Middle School. State finalist for new teacher of the year. So how do you feel on this for this next 25-26 school?
Right. So I think moving forward, the people I've gotten to talk to and network with during this whole experience over the last 6 months or so has been phenomenal. I've gotten a lot of great ideas, and I'm looking forward to bringing that back to our parish and to our school.
Congratulations, Michael Shelton.
Yeah, right.
Benton Intermediate. We'll be right back.
Start, stay, soar at Bossier Schools, where an abundance of opportunities meets endless possibilities and yields big results. Come live, learn, and work with us in Bossier, where we are changing the game and shaping the future. This is Bossier Schools.
And welcome back to On the Record with Bossier Schools. Not only did we come back from New Orleans with the big win, but we also traveled to Washington, D.C. and came home with another national award for this very podcast that hopefully you're tuning into today. We traveled to the National School Public Relations Association Conference, where our podcast was awarded a 2025 Publications and Digital Media Excellence Award. So a lot of thanks goes into Sonia, Andrea behind the camera, for really putting the finishing touches on our vision to create something that's digital for our community to see.
We're very proud of that. But you know, as radio host Paul Harvey used to say,
One of my favorites.
Yes, now for the rest of the story, because Inspira also named Jason as one of the top 25 superintendents in the nation to watch. This is a really prestigious award, and it goes to superintendents that exhibit dynamic leadership and they foster strong relationships with their school communities using various forms of communication channels, just like this podcast. So congrats to you. We are very, very proud. And then, as if it couldn't get any better, Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, then presented Jason with a commendation when we visited the Capitol.
It's certainly an honor to receive the award, but nothing happens in a vacuum, nothing happens in isolation. We have a strong team around us. I've been blessed to have great people that I get to work with, and Sonia and Andrea are just two of those people, among others, on our team that help us to keep moving, to keep going, and to keep growing. So certainly an honor to sit down and talk with Speaker Mike Johnson as well. Man, inside the Capitol, I mean, when we began to envision that, we had hoped we would be able to do that, and then to really see it unfold was absolutely incredible. The opportunity to do this really for me is one that I will never forget, opportunity of a lifetime. And we want to share with you when we sat down and went on the record with Speaker Johnson.
You know, history was made in the fall of 2023 when the 56th Speaker of the House was elected. But not only that, but the first Speaker from Louisiana in history was elected, our own 4th Congressional Representative Mike Johnson.
Mike, one thing that I do, I follow everything that you put out. I watch every press conference.
I'm so sorry for you.
I watch the Squawk Box. I watch it all. I don't miss it.
Listen to his podcast.
And one thing that I love about you, well, there's a lot of things, but one thing is you always go back to the framers, to the founders of the Constitution. You're a constitutional lawyer, and you quote oftentimes Jefferson, Lincoln, and a lot of Reagan. So you bring a lot of history to what you are presenting to people. I'm not lost in the fact that what we're watching and what you've been able to accomplish with a razor-thin margin, just in the first 6 months of President Trump's second term, I think people are going to be looking at you as being possibly the greatest Speaker of the House that there's ever been.
Well, thank you for saying that, and welcome to Washington. I'm so glad to have
Thank you.
both
We are
here.
thrilled.
It's such a treat. I walked in for the recording, and I thought we were doing this by video. They forgot to tell me you were here in person, so love to have you here, and I hope you enjoy your time on the Hill. I have enjoyed most of it. Since being named Speaker of the House in October 2023, we have been in overdrive every moment since. I mean, literally. Because the Speaker's job is so all-encompassing, and you have to cover the entire map, the policy agenda, the fundraising, every aspect of the job. The modern speakership has evolved to where it is almost an impossible endeavor, and it's certainly true when you have the smallest margin in U.S. history. Our majority is so small that for about 90 of the first 100 days of this Congress, we had a literal one-vote margin, which means I can't even have anybody with a broken leg out. Like, every vote literally matters. And now we have the embarrassment of riches of a 3-vote margin. But it's a very, very challenging set of circumstances. At the same time, we had one of the most aggressive agendas that have ever been audaciously suggested by a majority party. And we've been advancing that every single day. So we got the big, beautiful bill done and signed into law on July 4th, poetically and by design. That was much sooner than anyone around here thought we could do it. And it is the most aggressive and ambitious, and I think most productive piece of legislation that Congress has passed in generations. And we will be feeling the positive effects of that in Louisiana and the 4th Congressional District, everywhere around the country for the years to come. So we're really humbled, honored, proud to be a part of that. It's a close working relationship with the President. President Trump and I talk multiple times every day. We have a seamless operation here because you can appreciate this, Coach. We're working as one team, so the House Republican majority and the Senate Republican majority, which is also small, are working very like a well-oiled machine, like a team. And we're doing that in conjunction with the White House, and it makes all the difference. So we've had a great run out of the gates here at the beginning of this Congress for 6 months, and we have much more left to do.
One thing about like I said, the first 6 months is you set goals. You set goals to accomplish. You wanted Memorial Day to get it through the House, and then to have it on the President's desk by July 4th, which you accomplished those goals. So translate that back to Bossier schools and the students in our region about how important goal setting is.
Great question. I think it was the famous football coach Vince Lombardi who said, "Victory loves preparation." It comes from an old Latin phrase. But they suggest here, it's been said and written many times in the last couple of weeks, oh, Speaker Johnson is a magician, they call him Magic Mike, Miracle Mike, and all that. They're pulling rabbits out of a hat. You see that written everywhere. Yeah. It's not that. It is that we very carefully, methodically, meticulously planned for that outcome. So we began planning the big, beautiful bill a year and a half before we delivered the ball over the goal line on July 3rd. Because I recognized, I was campaigning for my colleagues around the country and recognized that we would win. In February of 24, before the election in November 24, I saw this coming. I saw that we would have a demographic shift in the electorate, that we'd have more groups of demographics come into the Republican Party than we'd ever experienced in the modern era. I was convinced that President Trump would go back to the White House, but I knew that we would have a small majority because of the way gerrymandering and redistricting has been done. So what that meant was we had to prepare. So we went to a brainstorming session with all the members, and I said, guys, let's plan a big, audacious legislative agenda, but we're going to have to work together very carefully. It's going to be a very complicated, complex set of issues that we'll resolve, because the last 4 years, in my view, quite a mess was created in public policy. So we did that. But the point is that we worked every day. We developed a playbook, and then we ran the plays. And so it wasn't happenstance. It wasn't luck. It wasn't any of that. It was a lot of hard work that paid off. So that how that translates to students is you have to take that same approach to your studies and to everything you're involved in. For me, it's a biblical admonition. Scripture tells us that you be faithful in the little thing that's put before you today, and then God takes care of the rest. You don't worry about tomorrow. You just work hard every day. You set your goals, you lay out your plans, and then you just stick to it. And that's the secret to success.
Your own children attended Bossier schools, and that does not escape us. We appreciate you and Kelly choosing Bossier schools to educate your children, and they benefited greatly from so many of the opportunities that were offered by the district. Talented arts program for one, I know.
Yes, look, all of our kids thoroughly enjoyed Bossier schools and did benefit from that broad array of extracurricular activities. Certainly what happens in the classroom with dedicated teachers and administrators, faculty, but also all the extras too. Our kids played sports, and they participated in the Talented Arts program. They're musicians and little artists, and they really flourished in those programs and really grew as artists in their own right. And now they're all doing great, amazing things because of the foundation they had. They participated in FCA, National Honor Society, and all the great programs. And the principals of Bossier schools and the teachers and the faculty were great mentors to our kids. And they, not just ours, but everybody's. They wanted them to flourish. They gave them the opportunity to do it. They encouraged them along. And I'm so grateful. I just want to look right in the camera and say, I'm so grateful for teachers and administrators, faculty, personnel staff, I mean everybody, maintenance staff, everybody who works in Bossier schools to sow into the lives of these kids, because we all reap the rewards of that for the rest of their lives. And it's such a formative time period, those ages. You can't overstate the importance of that. And they're all underpaid and underappreciated, but the Speaker of the House appreciates it, I want to say that.
Can you encourage the kids across not only Bossier Parish, but your entire district about the value of getting up and coming to school and being in school?
Yeah, look, we're created that way. We're created for community and fellowship, and no one should be isolated. And that tends to happen when you don't get up and take the trouble to go to school and be among your peers. Is a very important part of the development. So what you learn in the classroom, the academics, is an important part, but also the social aspect of that. It makes you who you are. It builds your character. You don't want to miss out on that opportunity. So it seems like drudgery when you're in school, but it's not. There's a process that is playing out there that you really don't fully appreciate and realize until you're older. And you look back fondly on your time in school and you think, wow, that was a simpler season of life. I wish I would have gotten more out of that. I had very fond memories of my own public school upbringing in Louisiana, North Louisiana. I grew up in Shreveport, and we moved over to Bossier Parish for our kids when they're going through school. But they will tell you, if all my kids were here, they would tell you how much they benefited by attending school and being there. You have to be present. That's not something that you can fully appreciate and get, really get all the fruits out of that if you're not there present in person to do it. It's not something you can do online.
We all thrive on routine and structure, and that's where it's set, is in the formative years. Any words of advice for our children as they start the new school year?
Well, I mean, I would echo what I said before. I'm asked on Capitol Hill all the time by interns and young people and university students, grad students, what's the secret to success? What is your 10-year plan? I don't really focus so much on what's going to happen 10 years from now. I try to focus every day on, again, the little thing that's given to me. John Quincy Adams, I'll quote a founder for you since you brought it up.
I love it.
John Quincy Adams was our 6th president, but what people don't remember about him often is that after he was president, he ran and served in Congress. He served in the House of Representatives. And the reason he came to Congress is because he wanted to eradicate slavery. And he was determined to do that. But the country wasn't ready for that yet. So he kept bringing the resolution to end slavery over and over and over. And the story famously goes, I know where he was sitting on the floor of the Congress when he brought it for about the 13th time and failed. And a younger member of Congress went up to him and said, Mr. President, they still called him that, Mr. President, why do you keep doing it? It's going to fail. Why do you keep bringing the same resolution? And he said, young man, duty is ours, results are God's. And to me, that is a very liberating thought. You know, all I can do is be responsible, be faithful in the little thing that I'm supposed to do today. And then I trust God with the results. And it's a pretty simple formula for life and for success. And if you follow that admonition, you do well. And that's it. And people want me to say something much more profound than that. But that is what I have done. And, you know, that's how it works out.
Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you on behalf of the Bossier Parish School Board, on behalf of the students, the staff, and our entire the 4th Congressional District for what you do for all of us, for how you do it, and for the integrity and for the character that you reveal. We appreciate you, we love you, we pray for you every single day.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I want you to know how valuable you are to us and how much you mean to us.
Well, I could say the same of you too. And Sonia is so overqualified to do her job. I can't believe she's so professional. I mean, the way she opened this, come on. She could be on any national news program. Thank you for serving the people of Bossier Parish as you do. Your heart is in it, and we all feel it. And this guy right here, he deserves all the accolades. What a great leader, what a great superintendent, visionary leader. Never takes his eye off the ball. He walked in integrity. It means so much. And I would say, congrats to Bossier Parish Schools, because we're on the right trajectory. We're growing in the rankings. I'm watching all that very closely. We're leading the state. What was a 5% over the state average on mastery the last lead test, and big stuff happening. And that doesn't happen again by happenstance. It's because you're preparing. You're following through on that playbook, Coach. Keep doing that, because the people of Bossier Parish benefit, and the people of Louisiana by extension, and all of America. So this is a national success story, what's happening in Louisiana schools. So keep it up.
Thank you so much again for your time. It's been a privilege to be here with you.
Thank you.
Our honor.
Glad to have you.
Our honor.
We'll be back with more On the Record with Bossier Schools.
It was certainly, like you mentioned, a lifetime experience being able to go to the Capitol and sit down with the Speaker of the House, the third most powerful elected leader in the nation, second in line for the presidency after the Vice President, and to be able to interview him in that setting, in the Hallett Halls.
One thing that just sticks out that I've thought about many, many times is as we were walking up to the Capitol, and it just felt like, I mean, we were really fixing to do something significant. It felt, it kind of validated the work that's gone into not only the podcast, but the trip, and just all the effort that's been made. I felt like, man, this is going to be incredible. And then the neat thing about the whole process was to see the operation of how Speaker Johnson's staff and crew, how they manage things, take care of things, make sure everything is going smoothly, keep him on schedule, keep him on time, in time all the time. And the way, the professionalism that they showed and that they displayed really made me think a lot about our teachers and our professionals, and how we really want people to perceive what we do here in Bossier Schools in the same light and with the same measure as well.
I have to say, you know, I don't know how many people remember this movie, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, but as we were going up the steps at the Capitol, all I could think was, Mr. Rowland goes to Washington. It was a great experience and a lot of fun. Well, that wraps up this back to school edition of On the Record with Bossier Schools.
If you've not done so already, please subscribe to the channel. Give us a like, share it with other people, send it to your family members. That way everybody is up to date on what's happening inside the classroom and back behind the scenes of Bossier Schools.
Well, we are looking forward to a great school year. Come join us along for our journey, and we just want to wish all of our students and our teachers a great first day of school.
This has been a Bossier Schools production. Join us next time when we go On the Record with Bossier Schools.